Hi, this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. And if you're like me, finding a place to eat is never an easy thing to do. Whether you're in New York or DC or traveling, I always find myself wishing I had a trusted friend I could call to tell me where to have dinner or lunch or just where to eat. The infatuation is that friend. The infatuation helps you find the right restaurant for any situation. Need a place for a first date? Trying to find a spot for your birthday that you don't want to celebrate, except you kind of have to. I had that a couple of weeks ago, by the way. The infatuation has you covered in all these situations and many, many more. So if you need a place to eat, but don't want to read through thousands of unreliable crowdsourced reviews from imbeciles that you have no idea who they are, hit up theinfatuation.com or download their free app for iOS or Android to search thousands of restaurant reviews and guides in 22 major cities around the world. Or let the infatuation do the work for you by sending a text to 64560. Again, that's text to 64560. A real person is going to respond to you and help you find a restaurant that's perfect for whatever situation you're in. Now, let's get going. This is the No BS Coaching Advice Podcast, episode 114. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. You know, when I talk to people, well, let me just simply say, I like to spend some time weekly talking about life, the universe, and everything. And when I talk to people, I find a lot of people spend a heck of a lot of time in endless preparation. But, preparing to do something is just not the same as doing something. Thinking about doing something is not the same as doing something. And as much as you'd like to avoid any sort of problems, issues, flaws, mistakes, ultimately you gotta get in the game, reel yourself back, and spend some time taking action and learning from those mistakes that you make, learning from those things that don't work out, so that as you move further along in your decision making, you get better results. When you make a decision about something you're planning on buying, let me use the example of detergent in the store. When you go to the store to buy detergent and you pick up a box of detergent, do you do it based upon the contents of the box, or do you do it based upon the price, the color, the brand name, and your impressions of it? Have you ever picked up a box of detergent and taken a look at it and said, the interrelationship with the chemicals in this detergent will make my wash far brighter than any other product on the shelf, and it's certainly worth the money? No, you go to the certainly worth the money, you certainly go through the coupon, the price, where your eye goes to anything other than the detergent. Well, when you're making decisions, competence, the ability of the product to satisfy your needs is only one variable that you consider in making the decision. I'll just simply say, we don't choose things purely based upon our assessment that this product or service is ideally suited in every factor known to mankind. Sometimes we make a decision based upon referrals, sometimes something we see online. There's a million different reasons. Race, religion, our belief that this person will understand us better. But competence isn't the only thing. Stop focusing on your belief that you can evaluate for competence, and remember there are other things that are going to go into your choice as you're weighing those endless possibilities and alternatives. We'll be back in a moment after a word from our other sponsor. Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the host of the No BS Coaching Advice Podcast here on Anchor.fm. If you've always wanted to start a podcast, Anchor makes it ridiculously easy to do it. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's completely free and ridiculously easy to use. I know I've used 2 other services. One was very expensive, like $700 a month expensive, until I realized I was getting hosed, and now it costs me much less, but it still costs me. Another service that's inexpensive, but it still costs me. Again, it's 100% free. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. I do no BS coaching advice here, and it is a breeze. I can record on my laptop. I can record live off my phone. Again, very, very easy to use. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Have you ever heard the saying that people don't leave bad jobs, they leave bad managers? I think that's way too simplistic. And I know it happens sometimes, but for that to be one of those old saws that people repeat time and again as though it's always true is nonsense. People don't leave bad managers many times. They leave managers who work in systems that don't let them be magnificent. They don't take people into consideration. What they do is commoditize work. It's one of the impacts of all the algorithmic work is the lack of humanity that occurs. If you're in one of those systems and you're finding your life is just wearing you down and your work is grinding you like something between gears, that's exactly what's going on. The system that you're working with is atrocious. It isn't taking you as a person into consideration. So while you're trying to defeat the idea of all that endless preparation and trying to take action, let me remind you of something. What you should be doing is focusing on just-in-time information and not procrastinating with just-in-case information. So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, subscribe in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to the show. Just subscribe so you get downloads whenever I release a new episode. Each show is going to be bite-sized morsels of advice just like today's. I hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope you subscribe. And if you do choose to subscribe, I hope you decide to support the show. There's a link that will take you to anchor.fm where you can make a pledge in support of the show. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in my coaching you, Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the big game hunter. Mention that you listen to the show. I just happen to like knowing I'm helping some folks. And once we're connected, message me about your interest in coaching. We'll set up a free call. We'll get acquainted, see if it makes sense. I'll be back soon with more. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Take care. Time for